Good evening, everybody. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good whatever, whenever you're listening to this or watching this. Hello, everybody. The Vancouver Canucks just beat the Carolina Hurricanes, 4-3 in a hard-fought win. Overall, it was a hard-fought win. It was a good game. Wasn't absolutely horrific. We actually played decently compared to the game we got a shutout in a few nights ago. We don't talk about that one. We don't want to talk about that one. Yeah. Before we get into all of that, make sure to like the stream, subscribe down below, follow SCPN Sports. You can find me at Real Kaja Mae on Twitter, and find me on Kaja Mae basically everywhere else. No Kaya curse tonight. Thank you, Mr. Wilkins, for that. That's so real. I was gonna say, wow, it's a win, but yeah, the Canucks have been on and off, winning games, not winning games, winning games. This is the first 2-game win streak that they've had in a few weeks and almost an entire month. So it's been a time. Before we get into a game breakdown, I just have something interesting to show you all. So, recently, it was my birthday. Yeah, that's the cool thing. I want attention. No. Basically, one of my friends, she got me the 2022-23 hockey card series 2 deck set tin thing because I like collecting the tins. I have a McDavid one and it's full of craft supplies. Anyway, so this one, she gets me this one, and they come with a pack of O-Pee-Chee rookie, like glossy rookie cards. And I opened the pack, and I've gotten some decent ones before. I got a Shane Wright. Tell me why the other two, there's only 3 in this pack, okay? Tell me why the other 2 are both Dylan Guenther. Tell me is it cursed? Is it cursed? I also got an OEL card. So is this pack cursed? Tell me. Anyway, the Canucks won 4-3. Let's talk about it. Alrighty then. Okay, so let's do it in a recap, shall we? In the first period, there was a lone goal scored by Sam Lafferty. I was watching with a friend and she yelled out, "Bald Man Sam," after he scored, which, correct. Elias Pettersson gets his 25th assist of the season in 28 games. And Ian Cole also gets an assist on that one. It was a good goal. Nice play. Nice pass. Oh wait, no, I was confusing that nice pass with the second goal that Elias Pettersson assisted on tonight. And that was on Ilya Mikheyev's second period tip-in. Sam Lafferty also got an assist for that one. Sam Lafferty's been a great pickup. Yes, definitely. I think he's in contention for the Canucks Unsung Hero Award at the end of the season. Dakota Joshua got it last season. I think it was Luke Shen the year before. But yeah, I think Lafferty is definitely getting up there in the hearts and minds of Canucks players. That was his 8th of the season, by the way. The first period goal. Second period, Sam Lafferty got his 7th assist of the season. Ilya Mikheyev gets his 9th point. Elias Pettersson gets his 26th assist. Ilya Mikheyev gets his 9th goal, sorry. Great pass from Petey. Gets straight through the goal crease to Mikheyev. 2-0. Does not stay 2-0 for long. In fact, not even 20 I can do math. Not even 30 seconds later, Jordan Martinook gets his first of the year. Snapshot, 2-1. Okay. JT Miller. I want to talk about this goal because when they initially put Hoglander on the line with Besser and Miller, I was very concerned. I was quite concerned when that was happening. It is working out. it is definitely working out, especially here. And so Niels Hoglander, he doesn't exactly start the play, but he gets the puck to Besser. Besser wins it in a board battle, gets it to JT, who had just come on the ice after Pettersson got off. So Pettersson sent the puck in and then did a line change. Miller comes on as the center. Besser goes straight to Miller and scores. Amazing goal. It was celebrated. And then near the end of the second period, there's a power play goal. We'll talk about the penalties in a minute. Brady Shea, mentioned on SNL once, I think. I don't know. 3-2, still Vancouver, still, yeah, wasn't a great shot, wasn't a great sequence for the Canucks, but again, it was on the power play. Our penalty kill is still not as terrible as it previously was. It is not panic hour yet. Third period, 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the period. Canes score, they tie it. A bit worrying. The last two, a lot of the goals were the Canucks basically didn't cover a man, and that man tends to score, or they don't cover the crease properly. I mean, the same thing happened where a pass gets through and it goes up. That's basically how the McCabe goal happened. But with this one, Stefan Nason, and yeah, backhand into the net. It's tied 3-3. Again, not for long. That was a trend for this game. I wanted it to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Cause overall, that was quite exciting. And the Canes, I don't want to say they don't score a lot, but they're not really an offensively minded team. They have a lot of depth scoring, I guess. They don't exactly have a standout person. But I would say that they're not exactly offensively minded. Well, they're an odd team. They're a good team. Except for right now, they're on a 4-game losing streak. The Canucks. Western Canada has not been kind to them. They've lost to Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and us now. And then yeah, Elias Pettersson almost immediately after. He is back. He has 3 points all night. Ilya Mikheyev and Phil Perona get the assists, but Elias Pettersson goes for the wraparound goal that he previously tried on Anaheim and scored on. Yeah, what a goal, what a shot. I don't know what they gave Pettersson between Minnesota game and tonight's game, but dang. He's gotten up there. Yeah. Let's talk penalties, because it was a weird one. So, there's a couple tripping penalties for Carolina. Couple slashing for us. We got too many men on the ice penalties in the same period. So, the second period started off like 30 seconds and Brady Shea gets a hooking penalty against Miller. Okay. Sure, whatever, Canucks on the power play. They don't convert, obviously. Then, 3:40 in, the Canucks, too many men on the ice. Okay, they kill it off. Then there's a Hoglander tripping penalty. Again, I do think some of the penalties called just generally were a little questionable, but you know what? You're not allowed to ask any refs questions. Then, with like 3 minutes left, 17:08 of the third period, there's a too many men on the ice, and that's the one where Brady Shea scores on to make it 3-2. Yeah, so we took too many men penalties in the same game, and it honestly made me think so much of the dark era of the Canucks. Okay, there was multiple dark eras of the Canucks, but the most recent one of memory, aka the era between the 2020 bubble playoffs and like December 5th, 2021. Yeah. It was a time I was Like, I feel like they need a math class between now and Tuesday before they play the Lightning, because the Lightning are very particular about the too many men. We saw that. We saw that in the Stanley Cup Finals a couple of years ago. Not last year, but a couple years ago. And yeah, 3 stars for the game. Elias Pettersson, first star. Sam Lafferty, second. Ilya Mikheyev, third. Basically, that entire line. Who knew that when we got Sam Lafferty for what? It was a third? We traded him for a third? Brad Tree Living, you are an interesting man. We did get him for a third, right? It was either a third or a fifth. Sam Lafferty trade. It was a fifth rounder. It was a fifth rounder. Okay. Imagine instead of Andrei Kuzmenko, who we're paying $11 million over the next 2 years for, in the line that we're supposed to put him on, we put Sam Lafferty that we got for a fifth rounder at the beginning of the season. And he's fit in. Fifth, yeah. For some reason I was thinking third. Don't know where that number came from. But yeah, that line has worked out way better than I thought it would. Maybe Dubas is pulling some strings back in Toronto and he could send it over because, Pittsburgh, you know what goes on. You know what goes on. One thing I did notice, I watched the Pittsburgh game just because a few weeks ago, and they noticed they also have a restaurant where the people in the restaurant can view directly into player tunnel. Just thought that was interesting. Just thought I'd put it out there. Anyway. Yeah, so the lines tonight, I want to discuss this because in the overall, let me see, I had it up before. So the lowest time on ice tonight, and yes, there was time missing for some of these guys because there was a lot of special teams activity, especially in the second when the Canucks just, I mean, they thought they were on special teams because they had too many men, but Um, so the fourth line tonight, that's the Di Giuseppe, Oman, and Kuzmenko line. Phil Di Giuseppe had 8:51 time on ice. Niels Oman had 9:21 time on ice, and Kuzmenko 10:36. Now I believe the 10:36 is because there was one moment in the third where Kuzmenko was there was a line change going on, so he kind of held on to the puck in the Carolina end for a bit. Does he get promoted? He had 2 shots tonight. That's basically it. From his current standpoint. I'll talk about Kuzmenko a bit more in a few seconds here, but yeah, just not great. He's kind of turned invisible, which is a complete contrast to how it was last year. Yeah. I see you guys talking a lot in the chat. Just wait for like the last. I'll tell you guys when to start putting like questions and stuff. We'll start talking about it. I mean, we're gonna have a kind of group discussion in a second here, but yeah, that fourth line. Who would have thought? 2 of those guys started in the top 6. One of them is going to be sent back to Abbotsford, I'm assuming. That's Niels Oman. He's going to be sent back when Pius Suter, who recently was skating in practice yesterday with the Canucks. So that is good news. I don't think they're splitting up the Blueger line because that's been pretty solid. Like, yes, maybe they're not offensively producing as much, but I do think they're doing pretty well. Hoglander getting on the Miller and Besser line again, having a speedy little guy in there, because Miller and Besser are bigger, arguably a little bit slower, but they can speed up. I mean, Besser had like the highest speed at one point, I think, for the team. Well, at one point last season, he saved that empty netter against Pittsburgh last year. I think that was Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think that line's staying together in the Pettersson, Mikheyev, Lafferty until Kuzmenko gets back up to speed. I think he's staying there, and Lafferty's just staying up on that top line. Defensemen don't really have any notes. Uh, yeah, except for Ian Cole actually has taken the most penalty minutes. Like not Kuzmenko. Myers is third in penalty minutes for the team. It's Ian Cole, Dakota Joshua, and Tyler Myers. And Dakota Joshua kind of makes sense to me because like he does fight. He's had a few fights this year. Overall, I think, yeah, he had one in our home opener. Phil Giuseppe got in a fight. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, another one. Ian Cole also fighting a couple fighting majors here. Yes, misconduct. Yeah. Of the fighting, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 10 fighting majors against the Canucks have been to Dakota Joshua, and 2 have been to Ian Cole. Ian Cole, I guess, is just taking some of the blame for Tyler Myers' penalties. Tyler Myers is third in penalty minutes, though. Okay, now that was the game. We won 4-3. Demko, we don't need to look at the save percentage, but he made 21 saves tonight, and yeah, 21 saves overall. There were 23 Canucks hits to 12 Canes hits. So that was a time. Block shots, 18 Canucks, 5 Canes. Giveaways were not great. We had 5, they had 1, but takeaways were pretty even, 5-4. But yeah, 5 giveaways. There were a lot of it looked like there were a lot of pucks connecting, but at the same time, there was a lot just going every which way. Okay. All right. Let's get into second topic. Before that, like, subscribe, comment down below if you're watching this later. Rate and review of listening to this on a podcast platform. Follow SCPN Sports on Twitter and all social medias. Anyway, let's talk about the man of the half hour. Well, there's 2 men of this hour. We're going to talk about both. I did see his name pop up in the chat recently. Thank you, Alex. Ethan Bear is closing in on picking next NHL team. So, of course, Ethan Bear, he played for us last year. He, let me see. Okay, so in the 61 games he played with the Canucks, 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points. He was +6 last year, which is good considering our team. 25 penalty minutes, 1 game-winning goal, 75 shots on goal, and average time on ice 18 minutes, 32 seconds. He was pretty good. He had a shoulder injury during the Ethan is on a plane to Vancouver. I don't trust anybody tracking planes anymore, okay? My heart was broken at noon today. Yeah. Anyway, so Ethan Bear, yes, he played last season with us. He was drafted by the Edmonton Oilers, went to the Canes, got traded to us. So, he was injured, shoulder injury, during the IHF World Hockey Championships over the past summer. His estimated return date was probably around Christmas, is what they were saying, when he could come back. And as you may know, look at my hat, like, we're out here. I was actually at a Christmas get-together, I guess, earlier, holiday get-together, should I say. Earlier, we are a few weeks away from that big day when there's no hockey on. I'm so sad. It's okay. So he is still technically a free agent. I believe that he was an RFA with us, as if I can recall. But we didn't qualify him, so I don't think we have the rights to anymore. Yeah, so he's a UFA now, because we didn't give him a qualifying offer because he was injured. Um, at the end of the last season. So, yeah. He wasn't qualified at the end of last season, so he is a UFA. That's how that works. Um, he is closing in on picking his next NHL team for the if he wants, then he can't play that season. Yes. He's closing on picking his NHL team because he's a free agent at the moment. He's probably one of the better free agents on the market at the moment, I'd say. Because, like, it's him, probably Phil Kessel, if he wants to come back. And, yeah, I guess Patrick Kane, but he signed, so, eh. And he scored in a game the Red Wings lost, so it doesn't even matter. Anyway, Ethan Bear closing on picking his next NHL team. He was practicing a few weeks ago in West Kelowna. We know that, he usually is in the BC region. I was so happy we traded for him. He's close to resuming his NHL time, or at least picking a team he's going to do it with, and the Canucks are reportedly not a front runner. They're reportedly not a front runner. So, the Vancouver Canucks were previously, speculated that they were the, I guess, front runner for picking him back up. That was, of course, before we traded for Nikita Zadorov and his almost $4 million salary from the Calgary Flames, which is still a very odd trade, but it's worked out decently. Zadorov's been pretty good. Yeah, the Canucks would potentially be interested in bringing Bear back, but Elliot Friedman reported that tonight that Bears apparently we do not have the advantage anymore. One of the teams that has really looked at him is are the Washington Capitals. It's believed that they made some sort of legitimate offer. The Capitals are currently okay, they're doing better now. They're fourth in the Metropolitan Division with a record of 13-8-3, so not terrible. They beat the Rangers tonight 4-0, so it could be worse. It could be worse. I have definitely seen the Washington Capitals be worse. They are out of a playoff spot, but that's because Detroit and Tampa Bay are above them in wildcard standing. Okay. So, Ethan Bear, do we keep him? Do we not? I think, because the Canucks don't exactly have the most cap space at the moment. Let's see. We have $0 of projected cap space. So when I said we don't have a lot, we have none. We have none. What trade was that? Oh yeah, the Dickinson. I was like, we don't have a second this year? Yeah, we don't. I do think maybe if he just signed for the rest of the season in Washington and then we got him again in the off season, because we have most of our back end is going to be a UFA at the end of the season. Do we focus on re-signing some of the guys we have? I understand we have Filip Hronek. Do we sign Bear in the off season? I think that I do think that the Canucks if we have 3.6 mil? Cap friendly says nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind. I can't read. Current cap space, not projected cap space. It's in smaller text and I have trouble eyes. I do we bring him back? Do we want to bring him back? Because it's either we use all of our cap space, we'd probably send either a Juleson or a Friedman down. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary. Because we do have, we have hard-hitting players already. I did really like Ethan Bear. I liked what he brought to the team. He had a few good moments. I do think that he would be of use to this team. It's just that if he goes to Washington, I do think it's not exactly the end of the world, or Washington or another team. If he gets the bag, he gets the bag. Good for him. You know what? I'm always advocating so players should get paid less. Paid more. Oh my gosh. Brain not working. Washington has a -10 goal differential, even though they're kind of higher up. That's in the bottom, closer to the bottom of the league. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they need some defensive assistance. Looks like cap going up in a bunch of UFAs. Next year with Bear will be fine. Yeah. So if he doesn't sign for a long-term deal, maybe we can get him back in the offseason. I just don't know if the Canucks necessarily need him at the moment, but that can be, I mean, hey, maybe next game we'll get blown out 10-2 with hits being 8 our side and 40 Tampa Bay. I don't know. I do think that, yeah, because we also have Susie, right, too, so I don't think he's necessarily absolutely needed at the moment. But it would be nice to have him back, because I did like Ethan Bear. But, yeah, it's okay. All right. Let's get into the other man of the hour, Andrei Kuzmenko. It was also reported today, via Elliot Friedman, that our fourth-line winger that is costing $5.5 million a year against the cap for the next 2 years, including this year, Andrei Kuzmenko, apparently, other teams have been calling about him. I'm not sure why. He has 4 goals in all the games he's played this season, which is all of them but for 2. Yes, he scored semi-recently, but okay. Let me find him. Where is he? Yeah, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points in 24 games. Yeah, not where he wants him to be. He's at 11.1 for a shooting percentage, which is around league average, so it's not terrible. He's had 36 shots. Only 4 have gone in. His time on ice is about 15 minutes, 11 seconds. It is definitely a shift from last year, because, yeah, last year you look at it, his time on ice per game, though it was about a minute above, he had a shooting percentage of 27.3, which is absolutely insane. He's had in 81 games last year, let's remind everybody, 74 points in 81 games, 39 of those were goals. He was so close to 40. Yeah, now he's at 4, and he's at over a quarter of the season. He's not a negative, but at the same time, Rick Tocchet doesn't seem very fond of him, let's be honest. Recently quoted saying he was tired of answering questions about him. He was tired of, he just wanted him to forecheck more. He's been scratched. He's been demoted. I need to hear the consensus about Kuzmenko. Everyone thinks they can... Sorry, last resort. Every team thinks they can fix a player because they're better than whatever organization the player is in. Okay, I feel like that argument can be made if it's what's a good what's a good team? Vegas, I guess. But they wouldn't trade him to Vegas, obviously, because like it's Vegas. They have enough. Um, I do think that, like, say it was Vegas, say they were trading him to Vegas. I feel like that's a bit more questionable than it. Actually, no. I think that's a bit more like, oh yeah, we can fix him. We can fix him. Cause like, what analogy am I trying to make here? It's a bit more questionable if like a good team's calling versus a Columbus versus a Chicago versus a San Jose. Like if they're calling if Mike Greer's picking up the phone, calling Patrick Alvin being like, "Hey, we want Kuzmenko." That's probably not good. I don't know. If he goes to Vegas, watch him score 60 just to spite us. He'd have to score. Okay. So Vegas, if Andrei Kuzmenko went to Vegas. So Vegas has played 28 games this season. Minus 28. It's 54. 54. So he'd have to score. Wait. He'd have to score over a goal per game. Cuz he'd need 56 more goals to get to 60. He's trying. Will time get through it? Yeah. Like, PD has hit rough points. I think it's more obvious on Kuzmenko's side because he had such a dynamic kind of coming out moment. I think last year for the Canucks, I mean, he was like the one bright spot during the beginning of last season when we were absolutely terrible. Um I just am worried about the Tocchet situation because, like, he doesn't seem. We got Tocchet because we needed to fix the JT Miller problem. Cool, okay, understandable. We gave him 50 something million dollars for 7 years. That makes sense. I feel like it also tarnished the Kuzmenko golden era. I Canucks have interest in Barrie. Tyson Barrie? We have interest in Tyson Barrie since when? I don't think we need another offensive defenseman. I think we have enough. Yeah, no. Please, why? We don't need Tyson Barrie. As much as it would be funny. Oh, not funny. His nickname's Mother. I gotta hand it to him. But he had a few chances lately that went in last year. Yeah, he needs one or two to go in to get his confidence back. I think that happens. Yeah. If he gets a couple more goals, there was one chance earlier in the game tonight where it was on the line basically. He just had to tap it in, and if he had a little bit more energy in that shot, it would have gone in. Because Ronta's pad was just not there. But yeah. I I think he just needs a bit more time, which is a bit concerning because yes, he's been scratched and that's been a reset tactic. I guess it worked with Dakota Joshua. It sort of worked with Kuzmenko, not exactly, and hasn't yet really worked with PDG, but then again, PDG is not under the same microscope as Kuzmenko is. PDG is playing for League Min. Andrei Kuzmenko is set a single season record for shooting percentage last year, which Niels Hoglander I think is currently tied at. Yeah. So, a league, I meant team, history, overall, yeah. Oh wait, no, never mind. Niels' shooting percentage went down. False alarm. He's at 26.5 now. Ooh, took a hit. Took a hit. He's no longer tied for the lead. Jack Studnicka as a 25% shooting percentage. He's second. He's currently at Abbotsford. I think he scored tonight, but they lost. But they scored tonight. It was Star Wars night in Abbotsford. So I have a baby. Oh, you can't even see it. It's a Grogu. There. I also permanently have Star Wars on my body, but that sounds weird. I have a Star Wars tattoo. That's it. Barry's power play specialist and who wouldn't get on the power play. Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't make any sense considering we have Quinn Hughes for the power play. I think if Kuzmenko got not exactly more time on the power play because that hasn't been really working out, but I think I'm not Rick Tocchet. I'm not an NHL coach. I'm not behind the bench of the Vancouver Canucks. TMI, it's on my arm, okay? It sounds weirder than it is. Um, talked about Bear being maybe too expensive for us. I think if Susie comes back and we're still doing the one in, one out, then I think then we worry. Because Susie was really good. That was like our best era. Um yeah, when we get the power play, we have Hughes, we have Hronek, we have our power play set. Okay. Have you talked about Bear being maybe too expensive for us? Yes, I have a little bit. We still need more depth on defense. I understand that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I think it's just not needed, and if we're not like the biggest front runners for right now, and if he's going based on, getting the bag, as you should, yeah, I think it's a little questionable. But we can see maybe in the off season, maybe he signs with us still. You never know. There were insiders the other day reporting that Shohei Ohtani was on the way to Toronto. Obviously, that wasn't real. Anything can happen at this point. Anything can happen. I mean, maybe he was on the way to Toronto and he pulled up Max Domi's Twitter page and just turned the ship around. Plane. It's land. Okay, Barry, yeah, Tyson Barry is his entire career is like minus 80. I don't think he's a serious target for the Canucks. At least he shouldn't be because we have enough defense. We have enough defensive points. Yeah, we have enough offensive defensemen already. Tyler Myers is 13 points. I think people tracked a random dude's jet. That's so funny. Barry might sign with Vancouver this offseason. I get it, but like I don't want that to happen. Um cuz he's from Victoria, I think. So it makes sense. But please don't. All right. Let's get into the last little bit here and take some questions and comments. Connor, I'm disappointed Casey Smith didn't get rewarded for his efforts. He should have started. Yes, Demko did play well, but Smith got a shutout again. Smith got a shutout against Minnesota. Play him more. I do think it was probably kind of given that it would have been Demko's game tonight just because the Canes are supposedly a better team. Um let's see. So Casey DeSmith currently has a 917 save percentage in 9 games. Um he's made 232 saves. Goals allowed on average is 0.20 more than Demko's is. Demko's a 0.916. Casey Smith is a 5-2-1. Demko's 13-7 and 0. So, I do think, yes, I don't think running the goalie, like, that's a very Daryl Sutter move. I don't think that's a great thing for confidence, especially if a goalie starts to lack confidence. We saw that at the beginning of last season. Yes, Demko was dealing with some other injury stuff, but, like, at the same time, if you don't have that confidence, it's not beneficial, it's essential to good goaltending is to be confident in what you're doing. And if your backup is going in that we literally just got from Montreal like just before the season started, if he's going in, yes, he's been a good backup. Yes, he's been probably the best backup for Demko that we've had for his entire time in Vancouver. At the same time, I do worry about like it is good for load management, don't get me wrong, but I think it is important that we don't overplay him, I guess. Not overplay him, but I do think he'll probably make another start, potentially next week. The Canucks, let me just see here. Play him more. I do think he's been played more than a lot of Canucks backup goaltenders. Yeah, so next week we play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I think he'll get one of those weekend games again. One's against the Wild, one's against the Blackhawks. He'll definitely have one of those games. Obviously, he got a shutout last night against the Wild. The Blackhawks also aren't very good. You shouldn't just play your backup goaltender against the bad teams. I do think. Let me just check what the Atlantic looks like right now. I think Demko will play against the Panthers. That makes the most sense. It's also Luongo night. Maybe DeSmith starts against the Lightning, but I think that's also Demko's net too. It's an extra 3 days of rest. Would you give Hronek? Fangirl says, would you give Hronek Hughes money, considering we still possibly have to sign Petey? I'd give Hronek. I want to see. I have cap friendly open. He is an RFA. His qualifying offer is 5.28. I think I'd give him 7, maybe. Yes, I understand we still have to sign Petey, but we also do have a lot of money coming off the books. Yes, I know the buyout continues to kick in. I think we'd still have enough. Yeah. He's making 4.4 right now. His qualifying offer is 5.28. He's worth definitely more than that. I think we re-sign him, and especially if we get deeper into the playoffs, I think, yeah, he'll be a big part of that. Well, not like exactly Hughes money, because yeah, Hughes is making 7.85, so maybe 6.5, maybe 6, like almost 7, around the 7 mil mark for 4 or 5 years, I think, because he's 26, so yeah. I mean, uh, for years Canucks wanted Barry. Why? February 2020 was the last time the Canucks were 10 games above 500. Oh, they're at the end of 2022. Oh, that was a time. Shout out Joshua. You mentioned the scribe being reset. Tonight he was out at the end of the game to kill time. Yeah, he did a great job tonight. He's been great since the reset, I guess. Dakota Joshua is just a complete. He got the unsung hero last year, but if it's not Sam Lafferty this year, I think it's Dakota Joshua's up there. Plane was a Dragon's Den person's plane. Ooh, thank God I'm not a Hurricanes fan. Oh yeah, imagine losing to Edmonton. If it's 1.5 mil or less for Barry. Okay. DeSmith is the first goalie for the Canucks in 6 years to get a shutout as a backup. That that's wild. Yeah, because I guess Spencer Martin didn't get one. Okay, wow. DeSmith should play more, but you shouldn't run with your backup just because of a good game. Yeah, exactly. You run with your backup too much, and you get a Spencer Martin. No offense to that dude, but what's the deal with Kuzmenko? He's looked so good last season. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he needs to get back into the spin of things. Keep Demko so fresh, but show confidence in him. Yeah, I think he starts the next 2 games, and then maybe DeSmith starts again against the Wild, but I'm not sure if they want to go for that strat, because then it's like the same guy facing the same team. I don't know. Worry about the team in a few years. Trade the picks you can. Trade the picks along with the cap guys you can, because honestly, it's go time. If you re-sign PD, it's go time. Resign the players you need to. Resign Petey, resign Besser. Um, Trade Garland if you have to. Throw some picks in there. Sign Hronek. I don't care. You're moving forward. You're moving forward. We're doing this. Kuzi has had his confidence shot, is my guess. He can't buy a goal and he's now scared to shoot. Yeah, potentially. Pedersen for Sillinger in a first. No. No. Anders Nielsen was the last goalie as a backup. Don't you just mean like 2x Jacob Markstrom? Myers is coming off the books, extra 5 million. Exactly. I think Cole also comes off the books. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think that we'll be looking to re-sign him because we'll probably be looking to go less than 3 mil, and he probably doesn't want that. Hronek 7 to 7.5. Yeah, I think he'll make a little bit, and he'll make less than Quinn Hughes. For probably about 4 or 46 years, let's say. Do the Canucks still have a sports psychologist? Oh, I'm not sure, but that is definitely something they should look into, considering there's been a lot of hockey players that have mentioned that, in, getting a success back, notably Nathan MacKinnon, obviously. Did anyone else hear the ref tell a Canucks player to hold their sticks after it got slashed out of his hands? Why is it an automatic penalty when we do it, but when they do it, nah. Now let's not get into that. Yeah, that's funny. I love it when refs talk. Okay. Smith being the first backup to get a shot in 6 years is a testament to how bad we have been for so long. Last resort, that is way too true, and that hurts a bit. Last couple of questions here, so get your comments in, and remember to like the stream. Jim Benning would make the trade, the Pedersen for Sillinger in a first. I don't doubt that he would, but I think he'd trade Pedersen for Glass. Alex says, hey, how about Petey for 5 firsts and Fantilli? I hate that I'm considering it, but no. Fantilli is good, don't get me wrong, but I think Pedersen, I think he's a Canuck for a long time. Yeah, too many penalties. Yeah, being this often isn't good. I think it was just this game too, because we've only taken 4 this season. Yeah. We took 1 on the 24th, 1 on the 28th, and then 2 tonight. 24th and 28th of October. So they were very close in October, not very close now. Yeah, let's get the likes up, people. Let's get the likes. We're nearing the end of the stream. Too many men, I think. Maybe they just need to take math class again. I don't know. Why are we trading Pedersen all of a sudden? People were saying that we should trade him or we should sign him for like 4 or 5 mil. It's been a wild week. It's been a wild week in the Canucks world. We kind of lost the plot a bit with hockey because we were all paying attention to baseball. Now we're back to this, and it just seems absurd that we would trade him. With Kuzmenko struggling, does it make it harder to trade Garland because of a lack of scoring wingers? We came into this season with too many. Now it seems we need more. Oof. Trolling trades, that's the best. I love saying stuff like that. Myers for Hedman. That's just hilarious to me. I feel like it does make it harder to trade Garland, because Garland is effective. I do think Höglander can kind of take his effectiveness away. Yeah. Canucks fans are in a trolling mood, I guess. We're second in the Pacific. What more do you want from us? Yes, LA has 4 games on hand. We don't want to get into that. They lost in OT. That's all you need to know. Yeah, Petey's Canuck. Yeah. Alright, friends. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for liking. Thank you for joining me tonight. I've been Kaja Mae. You can find me at Real Kaja Mae on Twitter, and Kaja Mae just generally. Garland seems too hard to trade anyway. I could do is cap it. Yeah, there'd have to be a pick attached to him. Thank you, I guess his name would be James. Thank you, James Benning. Who on our team? Besser, Hoglander, and Ilya. PDG, top 6 winger. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. Like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. I'm going to bed because I have a big concert tomorrow. Dale. Sorry, the Trilogy Tour is here, and I'm a little bit too excited for that. Parker has you guys on Tuesday night when the Canucks face off against the Lightning, who are struggling? Question mark? I mean, they won tonight. They won. Or, not tonight. Do they even play tonight? Oh, where's my brain going? Yeah. They're not doing as good as they were, when they won back-to-back Stanley Cups. But yeah, Parker has that game on Tuesday. Panthers, Luongo night, Sam has that game on Thursday. And Saturday, we have a morning game. Puck drops at 11 a.m. And stay tuned for that game over because it will be a fun one. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Bye.
Yeah!